Good afternoon. We're going to talk about the epistemological foundation and the methods of qualitative research. First, I'm going to explain about the subjective and objective approaches. We're going to explain when to use it and how to conduct it. The positivism is also called the objective approach. It regards the world as specifically out there, everything that we can measure and it can be seen. It will ask only one question, and the question is it true? We conducted through tests and data. The subjective approach is also called interpretivism. It claims that we can study the world through meanings. It allows for many variety and diversity in the information. It asks a few questions like what does it do, how can it be used, among others. We conducted through interviews. Here we have the key concept and the similarities and differences between these two approaches. The subjective takes into consideration the perspective of the investigator. It works to assess the cause of something, allows more detail, needs less processing of data. And the objective, in the investigator's opinion, doesn't matter at all. It does not allow for many details, but both of these methods are valid methods of investigation. Now we have the advantages and disadvantages. The subjective, the advantage is that it allows the connection between the people that are studied and the investigator. The disadvantage is that the result could be influenced by the investigator's beliefs. Meanwhile, in the objective approach, we have the advantage that the data is always more accurate, but the disadvantage is that its reach is going to be limited because it doesn't allow for diversity.
Qualitative research methodology, ethnography. It takes a global view of the social environment, holistic and naturalist. It is of induced character. It is distinguished by its file work. It should be performed at the beginning of a project in order to support future decisions. When to evaluate a proposed solution and develop an early understanding of the problem. It is carried out through association of activities over a long period of time, and it's not always linear. Some are selection of designing, determination of the techniques, collecting data and determining the length of stay in the setting, and report writing. Advantage and disadvantage. And advantage are help identify the and analyze unexpected problems. It provides undelayed representation of the subject behaviors and attitudes. Explore and discover unknown topics. Disadvantage. It requires more time. There is a possibility that the object of study may not act naturally during the study. Ethical considerations must be taken into account.
Phenomenological research concept. The study of phenomena that tries to understand and give importance to how we live in the world in which we live. When to use it to put into practice, it's necessary to analyze the experiences in order to transform them into conscious experiences and help people to understand what they are living. But it does not stop and the experiences but studies its connections with others to give the currents. In this way, it contributes decisively to the development of thought and being. Advantages and disadvantages. The advantage prioritizes prevention and development, stimulates teamwork, promotes the active participation of the subjects, enables exchanges between the center and the community. Disadvantage, the teachers are not prepared, may affect the proposed model. The design and execution of the model must be effective because they will not be able to follow through with the objectives. If their attitude is negative, there will be greater obstacles overcoming for the success of the project. How to conduct? We have 4 steps: general reading, the limitation of the narrative thematic units, determination of the central theme, expression of the central theme in scientific language.
Quantity theory GT is a research method concerned with the generation of theory which is grounded in data that has been systematically collected and analyzed. It is used to uncover such things as sociality, relation, and behaviors of groups and nodes and social process. And data collection and analysis of course systematic categories and analytic codes developed from data pre-existing conceptually that not to be used it is now as theory sensitive theorems are used to refine categories.
How to conduct it? First, data collection. Second, open coding. The coding line by line, identifying and the hierarchy concept and phrase, and then passing them to categorize. And in order to categorize Excel coding, is 3 and 4 selecting coding. Finally, the categorize integrate and the grounded theory of time. Advantage, accelerate analysis and framing data collection, better analysis skills, and more accounting and relief. Disadvantage, research experience requiring much more time in collecting data and lots of data to analysis.